The boatman is out crossing the wild sea at night. The mast is aching because of its full sails filled with the violent wind. Stung with the night's fang, the sky falls upon the sea, poisoned with black fear. The waves dash their heads against the dark unseen, and the boatman is out crossing the wild sea. The boatman is out, I know not for what tryst, startling the night with the sudden white of his sails. I know not what shore at last he lands to reach the silent courtyard where the lamp is burning, and to find her who sits in the dust and waits. What is the quest that makes his boat care not for storm nor darkness? Is it heavy with gems and pearls? Ah, no, the boatman brings with him no treasure, but only a white rose in his hand and a song on his lips. It is for her who watches alone at night with her lamp burning. She dwells in the wayside hut. Her loose hair flies in the wind and hides her eyes. The storm shrieks through her broken doors. The light flickers in her earthen lamp, flinging shadows on the walls. Through the howl of the winds, she hears him call her name, she whose name is unknown. It is long since the boatman sailed. It will be long before the day breaks and he knocks at the door. The drums will not be beaten, and none will know. Only light shall fill the house, blessed shall be the dust, and the heart glad. All doubt shall vanish in silence when the boatman comes to the shore. I cling to this living raft, my body, in the narrow stream of my earthly years. I leave it when the crossing is over, and then I do not know if the light there and the darkness are the same. The unknown is the perpetual freedom. He is pitiless in his love. He crushes the shell for the pearl, dumb in the prison of the dark. You muse and weep for the days that are done, poor heart. Be glad that days are to come. The hour strikes, O pilgrim. It is time for you to take the parting of the ways. His face will be unveiled once again, and you shall meet. Over the relic of Lord Buddha, King Bimbisar built a shrine, a salutation in white marble. There, in the evening, would come all the brides and daughters of the king's house to offer flowers and light lamps. When the son became king in his time, he washed his father's creed away with blood and lit sacrificial fires with its sacred books. The autumn day was dying. The evening hour of worship was near. Srimati, the queen's maid, devoted to Lord Buddha, having bathed in holy water and decked the golden tray with lamps and fresh white blossoms, silently raised her dark eyes to the queen's face. The queen shuddered in fear and said, "Do you not know, foolish girl, that death is the penalty for whoever brings worship to Buddha's shrine? Such is the king's will." Srimati bowed to the queen, and turning away from her door, came and stood before Amita, the newly-wed bride of the king's son. A mirror of burnished gold on her lap, the newly-wed bride was braiding her dark, long tresses and painting the red spot of good luck at the parting of her hair. Her hands trembled when she saw the young maid, and she cried, "What fearful peril would you bring me? Leave me at this instant." Princess Shakla sat at the window reading her book of romance by the light of the setting sun. She started when she saw at her door the maid with the sacred offerings. Her book fell down from her lap, and she whispered in Srimati's ears, "Rush not to death, daring woman." Srimati walked from door to door. She raised her head and cried, "O women of the king's house, hasten. The time for our Lord's worship is come." Some shut their doors in her face, and some reviled her. The last gleam of daylight faded from the bronze dome of the palace tower. Deep shadows settled in the street corners. The bustle of the city was hushed. The gong at the temple of Shiva announced the time of the evening prayer. In the dark of the autumn evening, deep as a limpid lake, stars throbbed with light, when the guards of the palace garden were startled to see through the trees a row of lamps burning at the shrine of Buddha. They ran with their swords unsheathed, crying, "Who are you, foolish one, reckless of death?" "I am Srimati," replied a sweet voice, "the servant of the Lord Buddha." The next moment, her heart's blood colored the cold marble with its red. And in the still hour of stars died the light of the last lamp of worship at the foot of the shrine. The day that stands between you and me makes her last bow of farewell. The night draws her veil over her face and hides the one lamp burning in my chamber. Your dark servant comes noiselessly and spreads the bridal carpet for you to take your seat there, alone with me in the wordless silence till night is done. My night has passed on the bed of sorrow, and my eyes are tired. My heavy heart is not yet ready to meet morning with its crowded joys. Draw a veil over this naked light. Beckon aside from me this glaring flash and dance of life. Let the mantle of tender darkness cover me in its folds, and cover my pain a while from the pressure of the world. The time is past when I could repay her for all that I received. Her night has found its morning, and thou hast taken her to thy arms. And to thee I bring my gratitude and my gifts that were for her. For all hurts and offenses to her, I come to thee for forgiveness. I offer to thy service those flowers of my love that remained in bud when she waited for them to open. I found a few old letters of mine carefully hidden in her box, a few small toys for her memory to play with. With a timorous heart, she tried to steal these trifles from time's turbulent stream and said, "These are mine only." Ah, there is no one now to claim them, who can pay their price with loving care. Yet here they are still. Surely there is love in this world to save her from utter loss, even like this love of hers that saved these letters with such fond care. Bring beauty and order into my forlorn life, woman, as you brought them into my house when you lived. Sweep away the dusty fragments of the hours, fill the empty jars, and mend all that has been neglected. Then open the inner door of the shrine, light the candle, and let us meet there in silence before our God. The pain was great when the strings were being tuned, my master. Begin your music and let me forget the pain. Let me feel in beauty what you had in your mind through those pitiless days. The waning night lingers at my doors. Let her take her leave in songs. Pour your heart into my life's strings, my master, in tunes that descend from your stars. In the lightning flash of a moment, I have seen the immensity of your creation in my life. creation through many a death from world to world. I weep at my unworthiness when I see my life in the hands of the unmeaning hours. But when I see it in your hands, I know it is too precious to be squandered among shadows.